Erev Tov Chavrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live, and we have an interesting broadcast this evening, friends, and something that happened while I was in Kansas, and I wanted to share some of that information with you. A gentleman I met with, his name is Wayne, and we talked about the dwarf star, the one that is coming in that some people have called Planet X or Nibiru, etc. We got into a discussion about this, and this man here, it was not just your average Joe. He is very well educated. I'm not sure if Wayne was studied in astronomy or not. I forget exactly where his expertise is, but he has definitely got a lot of knowledge of astronomy. And he shared with me some very interesting information that he had picked up from the different satellite images that are out there. And I haven't been able to open the file as of yet, but I wanted to share some thoughts with you. First, just looking at some of the news before we come back to this particular images I have up on the screen, which is the Silk Road, by the way. Well, I'll tell you what, let's look at the Silk Road first, because we see global hotspots happening everywhere. And in fact, right now, I think it's this channel here. Yes, Ukraine moves 7 unmarked T-64 tanks to Mariupol. This is believed to be a provocation that Ukraine is doing in order to be able to draw Russia into a war. And the battles on every front are everywhere. We have also in Syria, the Sana news agency, which is the Syrian news agency, is saying that the United States has struck Syrian forces near Deir ez-Zor in order to help ISIS militants in a battle that they're fighting there. But if you look on Twitter, you can also find that they're saying that it's not U.S. striking ISIS, but rather U.S. is striking the Syrian forces in order to protect the Free Syrian Army that's also in Deir ez-Zor. The U.S. also, according to our good friend Lorenzo on alreadyhappened.com, U.S. has built a brand new airstrip, and this time it's up in the eastern part, northeastern part of Ukraine, instead of down by Altanf in the south eastern part of Ukraine. Also, again, showing the U.S. presence as digging in. The U.S. is not planning on going anywhere. We have the United States building a military base in Ukraine, in Odessa. The Navy Seabees are there building the base there. We have everywhere you turn, even like I mentioned the T-64 tanks on our broadcast earlier. You can watch that broadcast we just uploaded moments ago to get more details about that. But these were 7 unmarked tanks that the Ukrainian government just shipped in. And of course, according to Russian sources, I already found this in the Russian language as well, but Lorenzo on alreadyhappened.com, that's already-happened.com, just so you can check out Lorenzo's site there. This guy is always, he's an Italian journalist, and he's always on top of things, reports amazing stuff there. But, you know, but Russian sources are saying that these unmarked tanks brought in by camouflaged Ukrainian soldiers in non-marked uniforms are doing this as a possible provocation against civilians to justify their all-out assault on Donetsk and Luhansk regions, trying to draw Russia into an open conflict, or maybe say that Russia has invaded Ukraine. Not really sure what the provocation is going to be, but I know that Lorenzo has had threats about posting these images on Twitter, because there ain't hardly nobody else doing it. They want him to take it down. That even shows you even more so. Well, check out our article that we just did on Israeli News Live. It's up and running in high definition. You can see it very well. And look at that. But we're seeing everywhere you look, we are seeing battlefronts that are being formed. I'm going to jump back over here real quick. Let's get out of private conversation there. Oh, also, that was another one too, which I did that on there. You know, you can see that. But there is all types of battles that are going on, constant wars everywhere. We know that General Wesley Clark talked about taking down the 7 nations in 5 years. Of course, they're not on track for that. But no matter where you look, there's confrontations, there's battles. Israel's also, planning for Iran. We know that not only is Israel planning to take down Iran with U.S. help and Saudi Arabia help, but the Saudi princes are also trying to groom their own people to get ready to have Israel fight alongside of them to take down Iran. Why is there all this fighting in the Middle East? Why is there a possible war with Russia coming? Why are the refugees from Syria that moved into Western Europe being told that if they went back to their home country as this war is winding down, the Syrian military will put them in prisons? They're afraid of regrouping. Not only are they afraid of regrouping, but I think there may be something else. And there again, this is where it goes into a private conversation I had with Wayne this weekend while we were in Kansas, which brings me to another point too. We will be sharing on our Patreon account some other meetings there at the Kansas conference. Not the CIA application as of yet. I am seriously considering putting that in a DVD format and offering that to you guys directly, because I don't know of any place I can load that information without my channel being closed. That's just how sensitive that information is. So I'm thinking seriously allowing that to be published as a DVD. And then getting that into your hands, probably from the Tennessee conference, because that was probably the best I've done thus far. And I'll be speaking about that again in the conference coming up in Portland, Oregon, by the way. And that website is up and running already. And that is, what is it called? It's called oh, goodness, Bonnie had given me the information on that. Let me just look that up real quick. I think it's the Lions. Let's see. Let me just find it again. soldiersofthelion.com is the website for the Portland, Oregon, which will be January 19th, 2019. That's a conference I think you really want to be at. L.A. Marzulli will be speaking there as well. So I'm sure it'll be a blessing for you guys that come to that one. Anyway, getting right back though into what's going on here. This is what I wanted to share with you is... A lot of sites are coming out now saying that Nibiru was false. There was no such thing, no scientific evidence to support it. But this is what came to my mind as I spoke with Wayne. Wayne is very much convinced that it's coming. And supposedly on a memory stick that I have here in my office, I forget where I laid it down at, but it's somewhere in here, that he gave to me. He's actually got photos of it. And he told me, you said you will not photograph this planet without an infrared lens. But he has photographed it, according to what he's told me. And he said it is coming. Still a ways off from his prediction, but he said that he could not track the exact prediction because there was one other piece of evidence that he needed to be able to know the exact time frame it would come through. But I wanted to just share this with you guys as a conjecture, something to think about, because I'm watching all the wars go on here. And I realize that I've been told that there is war coming to the United States. But take a look, for example, at this map right here. This is the revived Silk Road right here. Okay? Now, here's what's interesting. That revived Silk Road connects all of the Far East, the Middle East, and it even connects Africa. It connects Europe. And supposedly, it's also going to work its way up to the Arctic Circle. That's what China has said. Now that's one example. And I want to show you some other maps. Just let's take a look at different maps that are out there. Because there's something disturbing in all the information I'm seeing about these maps that I'm wondering if anybody is paying attention to. And here again, you have a different one. It has the maritime maps in there. It has the railroads. It has the car, the motorways that they'll actually have as part of the Silk Road. But again, it's still this part of the earth with Africa included. And I finally found one image. Now, let's see. Here's another one right here. One Belt, One Road, how Chinese trade will cross the globe. All right. But what do you guys notice that's missing in this? Even when they say, One Belt, One Road, how Chinese trade will cross the globe. Well, Moscow's there. Italy is there. Athens, Greece, Egypt, Kenya, India, Iran, China, some of the islands over there. But what is missing? What do you guys notice that's missing? Oh yeah, you got it. The United States, Canada, Mexico. All right, and I did some really serious research. I found one map that actually included South America as it came over, and it attached to South America. I don't know if I can find that map again. We'll look and see. But I couldn't help but wonder why. And of course, as I look at this, my thought does go back to the idea of, well, a possible war with Russia, with the United States. Okay? Even when it comes to Africa, East Africa, but we don't see anything over here to the western side. Again, Russia. And of course, Xi Jinping has agreed to do the Arctic Circle. Now, what I am going to discuss with you probably would make flat earth people not very happy, because I'm going to look at it from a global position in this case here. And the reason being is because as I see this, and I see that North America is not included, even if I go back, watch, I'll show you something. Even if you take all these different images that you have here, unless we put Silk Road, United States, let's say South America. All right, I even did it like this. The only place I got was this map right here. All right, I don't know how well you guys can see that. Let me save the image. Okay, we'll save it. It's on my desktop. I'm going to blow it up now so you can see this rascal as big as we possibly can. It's a very poor image that way. But again, they go out and they come into South America, into Ecuador. But the United States, Canada, Alaska, Iceland, nothing. Why? Why is from Mexico upwards and Greenland all left out? All right? My thought is this. If there really is a Planet X, I'll call it Planet X. Forget the Nibiru word. Let's just say Planet X. If there really is a Planet X coming, and it doesn't detract from the fact that there may be a war with the United States, because I think the U.S. is fighting all these battles and overthrowing all these countries over here to make way for the population shift. Even as I said, a war with Russia that would come, that would really bring the country to its knees, that the elite of this country, the politicians that have played along with this game of deceiving the American people and their families, they will be moved to those ghost cities in China. At the same time, after that devastation comes, let's say that this Planet X really is true, and when it makes its turn after it loops around the sun and comes back past the earth here, let's say that the part of our country, the United States and Canada, is the one that is affected the most as it passes. Kind of makes me wonder when I hear Yeshua, that is Jesus, make this statement in Matthew 24 saying, "Pray that your flight be not in winter." Again, I know, and I'm not here to beat up on flat earth people, but I just want to take it from the aspect of, okay, let's say it is a ball, all right? I'm going to use a soccer ball here. But let's just say, for example, this side is America, and if it's in a winter time and it comes by, what if it takes and spins the earth like that, or better yet, moves it like that, and puts, say, Canada as the new North Pole, and of course, if that was the U.S. and this Canada right here. And guys, I have got to pause a second. I do have a very serious phone call that I need to take. I'll be right